we doing, guys? Welcome to another Mamemeister 10-minute mashup. Today's game we're looking at Atic Atac. We're looking at the top there, it's Atic Atac. Atic Atac, it's all one word, yeah, it seems to be. This was on the ZX Spectrum and it was programmed by Ultimate Play the game. Although they started off, as you can see at the bottom, they started off, it was Ashby Computers, I think they were called. So yeah, let's play and talk. Now it's one of the sort of first games you could actually get to choose what character you controlled. There's not a lot of difference sort of graphically wise. Let's go for a serf. I've never actually known what a serf is. In fact, the only time I've ever heard the actual word is in this game. So yeah, I believe the idea of this game was to escape the castle. Quite a simplistic game. I mean, you basically walk from room to room and fire, and as you can see there, your bullets bounce sort of manically off walls and stuff. Now, this was one of the first games with Ultimate. I'm not sure, was this the very first game they brought out? I'm not too sure. But I was not a fan of the Spectrum. I mean, I had a Commodore 64, and as far as I was concerned, compared games in the Commodore 64 compared, games on my Commodore 64 just looked 1,000 times better than it did in the Spectrum. However, this was one game that I always just thought looked bloody awesome. Even complete with its wee kinny, oh, there's a wee picture of Pac-Man on the wall. Yeah, even complete with the wee kinny typical Spectrum kinny bleepy noises. Oops. Yeah, I just, my mate had a Spectrum, and I just thought the graphics and sort of the whole graphical interface with the sort of various baddies, Frankenstein's monster as a Dracula, werewolf possibly, I'm not quite sure. Even the wee the chicken leg, or not the chicken leg, the chicken thing at the side. I like that. I like that a lot. I never actually noticed that before. It actually puts a wee cross where you've actually died. But yeah, just the graphical style of this is awesome. Yeah, what I was talking about, the chicken, as you can see there, it gradually eradicates away to become just sort of bones, and that's obviously your energy levels, or your life force, whatever you want to call it. And even the title screen in the box of the game was absolutely awesome. It was a sort of like a kind of wizard mage type thing. Oops, I've just fallen down a hole. Yeah, it's a kind of a mage with a kind of pink cloak, or it looks more like death. And then coming out of a sort of the dungeon below, out of a trapdoor below, is some kind of monster. Absolutely stunning piece of artwork, really nice. But yeah, I remember buying this from my mate. I actually bought this for his Christmas, and I think it was £5, £5.99 I'm sure it cost. And I remember thinking, I wish I had that for my Commodore. I don't think it was ever released. Was it released for any other machines? Possibly the BBC, maybe Amstrad? I'm not too sure, I'll need to try and find out. But yeah, as you get kind of deeper into dungeons, you get other monsters. Never completed it. I mean, obviously I've only sort of had a Spectrum for the last few years. Whoops, bollocks. But for a very early Spectrum game, it just looked bloody awesome, it really did. There's not a lot of colour clash going on, and if it is, because your graphics, the sprites move about that quick, you really don't notice it. I don't know how you can open doors. Have you just got to wait a certain amount of time or something before a door opens? You got to pick up a key? I really can't remember. I think the baddies just keep on coming. Now I really like the fact that, whoops, there we go. I really like the fact that your cross remains where you died. Usually through sort of memory constraints, the minute you walk off a screen and go back on, it'll have kind of respawned or disappeared. Right, now is that door going to open up? because obviously bullets bounce about, you can just fire at will, and you know, 9 times out of 10 you'll kill whatever's on the screen. Yeah, I don't know the difference between the characters. Is there a difference? If anyone knows what the difference is, please stick the comment below. Ultimate were an amazing company on the Spectrum. They weren't quite as prolific on other machines. I mean, they did bring out some games for the Commodore 64. Now, I'm just wondering, have I got infinite lives? Because if I haven't, I seem to be doing awfully well. I certainly didn't see any cheat thing when I was loading the game. Yeah, I think with some of these doors, there's no lock in it. It just seems to open after a certain length of time. Aye, so if you happen to know what the difference is between the characters, go and let me know. And was this ported to anything else? I certainly don't remember seeing it in anything else. Don't know how many baddies there are actually, but there seems to be quite a lot. And I'm sure there's Dracula and Frankenstein, but I don't think I've ever actually seen them. Is this door going to open up? Right, okay, that's game over. Let's go for one more go. Is it space to restart? Let's try Wizard. 5 and 0 to start. That is a Spectrum sound effect if I've ever heard. Looks like he's got a wee an upside down cone in his head. And you can see there the ACG on the main door to the house. I suppose you could actually see this as it was one of the first survival horror games. Yeah, it's kind of Resident Evil in fact. You've got all manner of monsters and things. Going in the wee hole. And despite the Spectrum not having the greatest sound, I just think the sound in this game's perfect. It's just excellent wee squeaks and squawks and burps and whatever it's called, I'm not too sure. But the actual sprites themselves are really well drawn. This game is probably getting a bit of a replay at the moment with the release of the sort of Rare collection on the Xbox One. I mean, I don't mind admitting, although I've got all these games for not various systems, I can play it through emulation. If I had an Xbox One, I would probably buy it. I mean, I actually know people that have bought an Xbox One just to be able to play the Rare collection, which I think is quite funny. Right, it doesn't look like these doors are going to open up. Let's try somewhere else. Let's go further down. Ah, there's Frankenstein. Now I'm sure I've been in this. Whoops, there we go. Oh, bugger. I would imagine to really play this game properly you would have to map it, because I'm just running about randomly. Oh, there we go, let's go. Avoid the mushrooms. Yes, it looks like the doors with bars on them you need to unlock or something. Anyway, listen, that's 10 minutes, guys. It's a 10-minute mashup, so I shall draw this game to a close. This is the wonderful Atic Atac by Ultimate Software, and this is on the ZX Spectrum. As usual, thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for watching my Mamemeister channel. Please feel free to like, comment or subscribe. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter.